Hi, I'd like to welcome you to the first report of Natty's finest NFL fantasy football season. I'm your league commissioner, Commissioner Rob, um, and I'd like to say welcome back. We are 24 hours, we are less than 24 hours away from the season opener of this year's NFL season between the Saints and the Minnesota Vikings, rematch of the NFC Championship game. So it's an exciting time, and you know. Um, like to touch base on the newcomers this year. We have three newcomers actually that were fairly early in our draft. The number one, the number two, and the number three pick in our draft this year uh, were the newcomers. Number one was Team Akins, father-son combination. We have our first father out of 4 years we've been doing the Natty's Finest League, and our first father, Bobby Akins, with his son Benjamin Akins. We'll see how they do as a father-son combo. Not sure which one is exactly the head coach, but no time will tell. We'll see down the road. America's team is adding a combination. The two brothers, Tyler Sheehan, the little big brother of Andrew Sheehan, will be teaming up to see if he can give some inside NFL advice. Do they have any Texans on their team? We'll see. They might have a sleeper of on their team. We'll see how good that goes. In the third overall pick, Saints Nation, Kyle. I'll touch base upon that team a little bit down the road, but I have some points I'd like to point out about them. Last year's champion, I got to give props to Team Gully, back-to-back champions. He had an outstanding year, one of the only guys to put up 200 plus points, I think, in a game. He just had a crazy week when Frank Gore and Chris Johnson went off. So, see if he can do a three-peat this year. I'm not sure if he has it in him, but we will see. I do want to take time out to apologize. I am the league commissioner. I take full responsibility for the NFL, for the fantasy draft this year. It was a little unorganized, not typical way by the draft board being on the pool table. But I think it went well. Don't let one bad apple spoil a bunch. I don't think it was bad. I think everyone had a good time. So next year we can try to improve upon that. For the newcomers and the old players, we do have some rules, some changes, waivers this year, meaning when you can pick up free agents and if you're in order, depending on your record, that's just going to be wiped out. We're going to do the whenever you want to pick up somebody, you're capable of picking them up, no matter if it's on Sunday during a game. Anytime you want to pick up a free agent, it's first come, first serve basis, basically. And again, it's $2 free agents. So every free agent you pick up, even if you drop them right after you pick them up, is $2. I'll be collecting this money before the playoff period comes. So that's going to add to the total prizes and, the trophies at the end of the season. Weekly prizes, that takes me into that. Weekly prizes for you newcomers. We are doing $10 and $20 weekly prizes. That's where most of the prize money comes on the free agents. So the first week is total points scored by your starting team. So whoever has the highest will receive a $10 prize. And again, for those of you who haven't paid, that can come off your league fees. And for those of you who have paid, I can just give it to you at some certain time when the playoffs start. First place, if you don't know, is receiving $500 this year. Second place is $250, and the rest is just the payout for the weekly prizes. Depending on if we have a lot of free agent picks, this number can fluctuate up, obviously, because we'll have more free agent picks. But as it stands now, it'll be 500 to the first place team and 250 to the second. There's two divisions this year, just like last year. 8 teams will be making the playoffs. 4-4 on each side. We'll have 2 rounds in the Super Bowl round, obviously. We'll do it just like last year, go up to week 15 or 16, I believe. You'll have to probably check the league page for that. But we'll have 3 weeks of playoffs, including Super Bowl. Draft recap. I'd like to talk about 2 specific teams this year in the draft. The number 3rd overall pick, he's a newcomer, Saints Nation. Not sure if this is your first year of fantasy, but you're drafted, pretty much tell a story. We'll go into that with your first pick. Drew Brees. Okay, he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback, one of the highest rated percentage passing quarterbacks out there. So that's solid. Again, you were 3rd overall. Gets a little scary at number 2 with Colston. Not sure exactly what you were thinking. Those are 2 players in the same team. Just don't let them have a bad game at the same time. And there's also a ton of other wide receivers he can spread the ball out to, and Drew Brees is known for that. You get Beanie at number 3, which is all right. That's going to be your number 1 running back. We'll see how he does. I still don't see a solid top number 2 scorer for your team yet out of three picks. You got Breeze, but who else? You got Gates coming in at number 4 as to me, your top wide receiver production wise. He's going to produce the most points at the tight end spot. So, he can be solid for you. Crabtree in the 5th round, that's a stretch. No proven quarterback out there in San Fran. He had a decent half of the year last year. We'll see what he can do. Vince Young in the 6th round. Guys, what is he thinking? Vince Young in the 6th round? Is he serious? With Drew Brees as your number 1 pick, you take Vince Young in the 6th round? There was still good quarterbacks out there, and there's no excuse for picking Vince Young. I don't know what week you're going to start Vince Young over Drew Brees. I'd like to be playing you that week. We'll see what happens. You still haven't picked a running back by this point. Again, you have Beanie Wells and who else? I don't see a second running back. Who are you going to start? Your 7th round pick is a defense in the Ravens, and then your 8th round you finally take Lawrence Maroney, and again that's Lawrence Maroney as your second running back, second starter. If he's going to produce those numbers, we'll see. Out of 8 rounds, I see Breeze and I see Gates as your top 2 picks, and that was pick 1 and 4, producing points, steady points week to week. So it's just for a overall third round pick. I just don't see a team going that far in the draft with players like this. I'm sorry to say. I hope you prove me wrong, but we'll see down the road. The other team, the 9th overall pick, again, pick-wise is not an excuse, guys. Team Stacy, that's the owner, formerly Big Lebowski's. This year, it's they're called Team Backups. I think a lot of the league stirred up that name. First 2 picks are standard, Andre Johnson, Tom Brady. You can't go wrong with those 2 at that position in the draft. However, number 3, Felix Jones as your number 1 running back. He's a backup already. Yeah, he has explosive tendencies. Not at number 3 though. Not for your 3rd pick. Then you go LaShawn McCoy and Jermichael Finley. Jermichael Finley, he could produce numbers if Aaron Rodgers has a big year this year, like a lot of people are predicting. However, he's not that good of a player to pick in the 5th round. There's other people out there. There's starters out there that you could have picked up and not backups. Like Macklin, you pick up in the 7th round, and Sproles you pick up in the 9th round, and you get the Bengals D in the 8th round. The Bengals D in the 8th round. I just don't know what you're thinking at this point. Your team fits your team name. I guess if you want to go with that notion, that'll work out for you. In the end, we'll see how it goes when playoff time comes around. That is my recap for the draft. Those are the 2 teams that stood out to me. Again, if you have further comments, go ahead and leave it on the message board. Or questions. Questions, I'm here. I'm going to be here once a week to do a weekly report. This is the opening report for you guys. And you can email, text me, post your questions. Also, I'll be doing weekly interviews. So if anyone has a big week, if anyone has a bad week, if anyone has something to say, come at me and we can get the interview going and we can go from there. I'd like to say good luck. Kick off to the season. This is an exciting time. It's 2010 fantasy football, and I can't wait to see you guys next week. All right.